All right, we talked about this today. These are the words from Joe, Captain Joe's class. And we talked about in Korea there's a tradition of having a memorial ceremony or having a ancestral rites ceremony for my parents or the anniversary. This is the 1 year anniversary for my father's passing or my father's death. I also said I really like this idea because it helps people kind of remember loved ones. It kind of creates a formal tradition around it. I don't have any questions right now, but if something comes up, I'll be sure to ask. Remember, we don't want to say, no questions. I also asked today, like, let's say we get in a time machine, we go back to 1950, and you said, 1950? Okay, fine, 1955. How would aviation be different? Well, there would be a lot fewer airplanes in the world, aircraft in the world. You would see a lot fewer aircraft. I also said, like, for technology, you would see like a lot less of you would see like a lot less of you don't have GPWS or ACARS or CBDLC or all this technology that's come along, right? What I mean by that, what I'm saying, could you explain that further? Oh, sure. There would be fewer aircraft in the world. What I mean by that is there would be fewer aircraft in the world. You wouldn't have the sheer numbers of aircraft that we have now. Remember, sheer is usually an adjective, kind of like amazingly huge or something. The sheer size of China, the population, is going to destroy the American economy. Right? Maybe America has better institutions or better government, but because China has so many people, then it's pretty amazing that they're going to take over. Why should you visit Dubai? Well, just the sheer size of the Burj Al Khalifa is so impressive that it's worth the trip, right? It's worth the trip. That it's worth the trip. Oh, look at that. That's so pretty. Typing. Right? That's worth a trip. That you won't have wasted your money, or you wouldn't have wasted your money. You will not have wasted your money if you go. Most accidents have several causes, but some, there's weather, there's mechanical malfunction, but some are because of or due to sheer stupidity. It's not a bad idea, but it's not possible just yet. Do you want more than one wife? No. Actually, Muslims have 4 wives, so that's cool, but more money, more problems. Less corruption, maybe the simple life is better. Less corruption, or not so corrupt as other countries. Every country's corrupt. But some countries are less corrupt than other countries. I'm sure you know the feeling. This story has come out all of a sudden. Oh, this thing about Lee Myung-bak. That there was some corruption case. Anyway, that's not our main topic for our class. That's just more of a side story. Remember, athletes is usually for the Olympics, or Olympians. Player is, quicker, like baseball player. He's a famous baseball player. Athletes are more serious. Baseball player like Babe Ruth can be like really chubby and big, But athletes, their entire body is usually in some special condition, really good condition. There are a limited amount of people who are allowed to be on each time. There are strict requirements. North Korea and South Korea, the Olympic teams have merged, so 5 people have been bumped. 5 athletes have gotten bumped off the Olympic teams, bumped out of the Olympic teams. Get bumped is also good for a flight. Like, the flight is full, so the cabin crew, ladies and gentlemen, this flight is overbooked. Would anyone be able to give up their seat? So I get my ticket and I call my friend and say, I got bumped. I was bumped off the last flight. It can be negative. Second meaning bumped off is also kill. I got a free ticket recently, so I'm going to Hawaii. I got bumped from a flight that was oversold. It was a Delta flight, so they were very nice to me. Bump and grind, the booby dance, right? That's their type of thing. That's something for 26-year-olds, 27-year-olds. I'm not into that scene. I don't want to go to clubs and dance and do the bumping and grinding. That's for kids or young people. Sometimes when I fly, I'll deadhead or fly as a passenger on the A380. The air is nice and clean. There are more open spaces. Actually, Adam, the A380, the cabin air is more humid. Teach. Yeah, you taught me that word. Okay, better. We were talking about that word that you taught me, right? We were talking about that word earlier. Remember, teach is I am teacher, you are student. Right? Take it all in. Means kind of, and I also had to absorb. I gave a story there about like climbing to the top, hiking to the top of Yosemite and just taking in all the beauty, kind of absorbing it. It was so pretty. The mountains were purple. It was at sunset. I was there. So if you go to Seoul Tower at night, you just go there to take it all in. Take it all in can mean also accept for training. I don't care what the movie Top Gun shows you. You're not allowed to buzz the control tower and live. They will kill you. You are not allowed to do a flyby. Buzz would be more informal. Remember in Top Gun they request a flyby. We also talked about flying into different cities. Guys have looked at those charts for years, and they tell me they already know them. They know them by heart. They fly by their memory. They fly from memory. I don't think that's safe. I think it's better to check the charts because there could have been changes in the Jeppesen or Jeppesen charts. That thing, that's an accident waiting to happen. That's an altitude bust waiting to happen. And again, remember we had this before with an accident waiting to happen. Right? Sorry about the spelling there. Typing quick. You know, this right there, that is just an accident waiting. That's an accident that's going to happen. Jim says that all the time in class. That's a level bus waiting to happen. The most important thing is your perspective. You know, it's all about perspective. Even prison can be fun. Park Geun-hye is studying English, and she's watching Korean dramas too. About that, you know, above that, it doesn't really matter. Above that, forget this. I forget what we were talking about. Oh, after you pass through that altitude, after you climb past that altitude, the rules change thereafter. This is kind of important. Then, after that, after you pass that altitude, you know, there's different rules. I understand what he's saying here. That's what I'm getting from this. That's what I'm catching here. We'd like to wait a little bit here until the dust settles. Oh, after the World Trade Center collapsed, people were thinking that there was actually there was a lot of dust and it was kind of dangerous. But after the dust settled, people were able to go outside. You didn't know that? You don't know that as now, but you told me the information and said you didn't know that. You didn't know that the width and the length are different from on that aircraft. That one is longer than the other. Because you told me, now I know. Settle down. When you are drinking all the time, when are you going to settle down and get married? Settle down is also for the kids. Hey kids, come on, settle down. We're going to watch TV and then go to bed. Settle in like you get in your bed. All right. Last night, I got in bed. I was settled in. My phone rings, and I had to go outside to pick up a package. That's not true. Settle. We fought a lot, but we settled it. We settled the matter. It's done. After the lawyers came, the matter was settled. The top of the aircraft, the top part of the aircraft, the upper portion of the aircraft, the width versus the length. I'm going to talk about that, yeah? Okay. All right. Thank you, Captain Joe.